our decision altitude. Oh no! Again, mind of its own. It looks like we're still good. And then our FAFT map is 90. So once we get to Quake, we can start our timer for 312. Okay, excellent. Climbing straight ahead. We have successfully reconnected. We shall see if it continues. I'm gonna try to start getting the other stuff up to see how much it suffers. So what we have for the love of God. I don't know how long that's been going. Sorry, hang on. Get back to this thing. This thing. And then also this thing. I gotta do this thing. There. So inconvenient, sorry. All right, so yes, so I was, gonna go practice that stuff, and a couple other private pilots, one working on his instrument and the other planning to do that at some point. So they were doing safety pilot stuff. They came back and we were chatting about stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, did you notice anything? It was all good, fine. They're like, oh yeah, well, the number 2 radio wasn't working. It would like work on the ground, but then not other than that. So usually we use the number 2 radio for the weather. KGLH. For the weather. Sorry. Intentional muting this time. so we were gonna take, where were we gonna take off from? We'll actually just take off from here. Take off 1-8. Yes, so we'll go here. We're gonna be right out in front. I don't know why it does this. There. As departure, fly, Gryffindor. So yes, so number 2 radio is apparently not working. Okay, that's fine, whatever. So I go out, they had left it out on the ramp, so I start doing my walk around and everything, and so I hop myself up onto the strut, check the fuel level, hop back down, hop back up onto the strut to check the fuel level. The whole entire antenna is ripped off. And I was like, oh, maybe that's the issue. And then one of the guys was like still there, and I'm like, hey! And he's like, hey! And I was like, no, come here. So he drives over, and I was like, well, here's our issue. And he's like, oh, well, I guess that's what's in the back seat. What? So yes, an entire antenna was off. Yes. So that was one of those things where, like, for me, that's been, I want to say I've been doing that throughout my private training. I don't always know what the antennas are. Oh, so yes, perfect. What's it? Visual. So yes, it was the COM2 antenna, and it's just like frayed right here. So I always check that stuff when I walk around, including during my private. Like I said, I didn't always know what all of them were, but now I know better. But it was just like one of those things where it just kind of boggled my mind. Neither of them were my students at all. I haven't flown with them. But the fact that they didn't notice that at all, and like the one is an instrument student, so that is something that he should be aware of, is checking those antennas. And that is part of that, not just the instrument cockpit check, but like the full walk around, make sure your antennas are good. So that you actually have them usable and everything. Nav equipment, communications equipment, all sorts of equipment. So yeah. So then I went and flew. I'll actually quick finish this story because it is where is, hang on. Oh, okay, hang on. There we go, okay. So I went and I flew. I went and did what did I do? I went and did, it looks like a VOR approach, and then I went and did an ILS approach at a different airport. And as I'm climbing out of that airport, number on the radio, and they're like, hey, is this person still on that, or is this tail number still on that frequency, on this frequency? And I was like, yes, affirm. And they're like, did you get that, antenna fixed yet? I was like, no, still waiting on the mechanic, because I had contacted the mechanic, contacted the owner, who was actually on a trip out of the country for flying for instructor, which is its whole other story. They got to stay in a castle. So goals. And then the aircraft had an issue, so then they were stuck for like a week, and they had picked up extra days, so it was kind of a bummer. They got to be professional tourists, but yeah, anyway, so that was cool. Goals. But yeah, so I contacted the owner, I contacted the mechanic, and was trying to work that stuff out. Wait, hello, how is it going? And hello, how are you? Good to see you, hope you're well. Yes, we are at a different time today, and hoping that the greens continue for our kilobips. So yes, climbing out the other aircraft, whatever aircraft, we figured out who it was based on who had flown. But yeah, then all of a sudden, somebody talking to me on the radio, they're like, oh yeah, so what happened was we were coming from somewhere, and then we were coming into another airport. On final, we heard a crack. And that's what it was. So, because we were trying to figure out how that happens, because if you look, it's like, okay, so if you were pulling it out, both of these antennas are at the same level. So why would it catch one and not the other if they pulled it out when the door was still coming up? Or if they were trying to back it in, the tail would hit the door before the comm antennas. So it's like, what? So it must have been like a bird strike or something like that. So that kind of makes sense. That, yeah, something hit it. So that's a bit more helpful, or like that's a bit more, what's the word, promising, or that's better than some other issue like that. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what they said. It was like, okay, well, yeah, we'll get it worked out and everything. So yeah, and then finished that flight out, came and did a RNAV approach back into my home airport. So it's one that I know I've done all the time. And so, but the issue was, let me actually put the web. Let me put the web back on for a second so that I can explain what I did wrong. So, which one is easy? Well, okay. So let's say, no. 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 This one. Okay. So let's say, like, what we're doing. Say I was coming from over here, and I came into, yes, like this. And I came into the hold like so, right? Then you turn, come back in, and continue. So what you're supposed to do, according to this right here, or holding pattern, you come in, you turn, come to Kevin, and then descend to the FAF. So my mentality is we cross the fix so I can start my descent. And so I descended to 1800 before getting to Kevin. And I noticed that about like here. And I was just so disappointed. Cause like, I know this stuff. What the heck? Like it was just like the mentality of it. What? Oh, frickin' sorry. You took the plane out the last couple weeks. Yay! How did it go? That sounds good. What'd you all do, if I can ask? Was it just like, just bopping around? Do any cross-country stuff? Yay! And yes, I'm sorry. So yes, I will try to, yeah. Say if we're coming this way. So came in, RNAV. So hang on. Sorry. Here. Here. Can you see my cursor? There it is. Okay. So coming from like here, and let's say we came over here. Ignore these here. So we're coming in here, and we got to do our procedure turn, and then continue in. According to this, you stay at 2000 throughout the turn until you get to Kevin, and then you descend to 1800. So what I did was I got to Kevin, and I did the holding pattern, but since I crossed Kevin, I was like, oh, now I can get down to 1800. And so I descended to 1800 before Kevin. And I noticed that about here. And I was like, oh, disappointed. Oh my God, that's perfect. Because isn't that Kevin Sorbo? Yes. Memes for days. So yeah. So, and like, I did that. Like, it was very disheartening because it's like, I know better than this. And I wanted to chalk it up to, okay, so I was, the whole flying the approach, trying to teach the things to myself, as well as having to look outside because I wasn't under the foggles. I want to be like, okay, that makes it an issue, right? Like it has more issues there. I'm like, got my focus elsewhere. Because when I was able to go fly with for instructor, for a little while, I was just on the instruments doing the thing, not having to worry about the traffic, and I felt a lot better doing that than this. So yeah, I was hopeful that like that was just an issue there. talked to friend instructor about it, and he did mention the whole approaches coming into your like home airport or familiar airport are where you're likely to have the most issues. And I was like, oh, that makes sense, because that complacency, that familiarity sort of a thing. But it was just like, I've done that before, and I've mentioned this at a different airport with a different instructor where I did the same thing. My mind was like, yeah, like we crossed the named fix or whatever, and now I can descend because we crossed the named fix, and it's like, no, you gotta cross it frickin' again. So, yeah. Both flights you did some cross country. Excellent. Yay. I'm glad that you got to go do that then, and I hope it did. I hope it went well, and I hope you get to do some more. Am I a Garmin Pilot user? I am not. I was for a little while, but I eventually, took that 4-flight pill. Why? Are you having issues? My pre-Checkride student now used that for a little while, and he is now on 4-flight as well. Yes. So yeah, so that was like that. It was a major bummer, and I was beating myself up about it, and it made sense, and it helped a little bit, hearing that from my instructor, but at the same time, it's still like, I need to do better. So anyway, so there's that, coming back into the sim here. And then, well, I guess I could just finish off that day. So that was, then I had a lesson with pre-Checkride private student. We worked on ground reference maneuvers again to make sure he was like fully aware of how he needed to do all the things. Really polishing, picking the points, setting up for the maneuver, doing the maneuver. So turns around a point, S turns. We talked a lot about aeromedical factors. I brought up, like, on his written test, he got a hyperventilation wrong. So I assume that that's going to be one of the things that he gets. Like, that's going to be a question for him. So we talked about that, and then we practiced emergency procedures. So we talked about that, as well as like cart nausea, how to deal with that with passengers, hypoxia, recognizing and what to do, things like that. And then we talked about emergency procedures, did a simulated engine failure. That went a lot better, I think. Or it reminded him that he had to practice that again. And then we talked about electrical fire and electrical failure. And before we did the electrical failure, we were about to go back in and land. But the Grinch had an idea, a terrible, awful idea. And I was like, you know, it would be good. I had this idea before, but it hadn't come up again. And I was like, you know, it would be good. You know, it'd be great to simulate an electrical failure. So I asked him, I was like, okay, are you going to be okay? Like, am I throwing too much at you if I give you one more thing? He was like, no, okay. And I was like, all right, turn off on our coming towards the airport thing. I had him turn off. And I was like, all right, so electrical failure. We talked about that, something. What would you all do and stuff? And so, yeah, turn all the stuff off. And I was like, okay, do it. And he looks at me. And it was so worth it. And I was like, nope, go ahead, do it. And he's like, oh God. And he's just like hesitating. He's like, oh, do it. I was like, yes, do it. And then, yeah. Got all the stuff off, and then our stuff was still working, and the other stuff was still working. So it was like alternator switch, boom, off, and then it was just whoosh. I took malicious glee in it. But like I said, or I have said before, it is good experience to like recognize that it puts it into a perspective. Like, yes, the plane is going to continue running. What are you all going to not have? You're not going to have your flaps. You're not going to have your radios. You're not going to have all this sort of stuff. So, but yes, but being able to understand. And if you did have an electrical fire, maybe you'd hesitate to be like, oh, I don't want to not have my electrical stuff. Kill that stuff immediately. So yeah, so that was fun for me, and I think a good learning experience for him. So yeah, that was fun. Traffic awareness and avoidance. Somebody else was coming in as we started coming in then, and then there was a helicopter that was coming in that was going to come in number 3. So we got into the downwind and then got onto final and like landed, but then so like the helicopter was like going to come in after us, and it was like, okay, we don't want to like have to back taxi. So we like stayed at the end and we watched it kind of come to a low approach and go, and it was like, ooh, that was so cool. And they were like, yeah, and you guys have a good weekend. You guys have a good weekend too. And yeah, and then talked about a bunch of other stuff, I assume. And yeah, that was that. Anyway, sorry. Oh, GP just released new charts for IFR. Pretty neat. So that's pretty neat. What does that mean? So they have their own then? What airport are we at? KLG. Oops. Kilo Lima. What is happening? Kilo Lima Golf Hotel. Hang on. I think it's Kilo Golf Lima Hotel. I think I messed those two up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Other way, sorry, ignore that. I did it the same way. Oh my gosh. There, sorry, that one. I'm such a professional. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, sorry if I didn't like finish asking, like, are those like new specific to Garmin, or what does that mean? So like Jepson has its own charts, and then the ones that we use are the ones, right? And then yeah, I'm so curious. Are we able to see them too? Like, could we Google them and see the Garmin charts, or is that not allowed? All right, so we'll quick do, that was one day, so we'll do our, oops, pre-flight. So electronics. Battery goes on. I'm gonna turn this off for now. Electronics, begin taxi, taxi landing, nav, flaps. So we're gonna check our fuel quantity. So our gauge is working, good, excellent. Lights. Good. And I will get my checklist out. Grasp the pitot tube, feel that heat, turn it off. So if we're flying in instrument conditions, we have an iced up pitot tube. We can put that pitot heat on, and hopefully that's gonna take care of the problem. Checked our lights, taxi landing light, fuel gauges, master goes off. Boom. Then our liquids, so we check our fuel quantity quality. Oops, not weather, fuel. We're gonna fill up. Quantity quality, and then our oil, same as well. We're gonna check that, quantity quality. And then we're going to go out and around and do our flow. So, strain a little bit of fuel from each side, as well as the belly drains and everything. So, static port, we should be doing the same thing, should have been doing the same thing throughout private, and if we didn't, we're hammering it in now. Checking that our static port is clear. Vents, pitot tubes clear in the drain hole, fuel vent, leading edge of the wing, wiggle. Aileron movement function, 4 bolts, wiggle rod, 4 bolts. Flap connections, give that a little bit of wiggle, make sure there's just a teeny bit of movement, wiggle that rod. Tire, brake, make sure there's no fluid. Baggage door. Then we check our antennas. To make sure that they are there and in good condition. So that's all of these. And then make sure our caps are back on, our elevator function. and connections, rudder, give it a teensy wiggle, rudder and connections, wiggle it up and down, make sure it's connected to the vertical stabilizer, and then on this side we check our trim tab, more antennas, and then chicken can do that side. Good job, chicken. Amazing. Double check our oil door thing. Oh, that's something I forgot too. Okay, hang on. Well, once we finish this, I'll finish off that story. So then, yeah, leading trailing edge of the propeller, looking for any significant nicks or cracks. Alternator belt, if there is one, nice and tight, good condition. Exhaust port is solid, air intake is clear. 4 fingers or a fist for our nose wheel clearance. Shimmy damper has little to no movement, and that tire is good as well. Double checking. Fuel quantity, quality, cap strains, vents, engine oil, belt, propeller, air intake, exhaust system, stall indicator, surfaces and controls, pitot and static ports, gear, tires, brakes, antennas, ties, chocks, baggage door, final walk around. Look like a plane? Looks like a plane. Okay. Am I flying online? I should be. I should be. I should be here. I believe so. Can you not see me? It streamlines the info so you can select your minimums, transition, etc., and it will only show you relevant data for the specific setup. That's super cool. Only a Garmin Pilot feature. You assume the charts are still based off the normal FAA charts. Oh, okay, sounds good. That is super cool. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. So were you able to test it? Because is it... I'm curious if you're able to use it. What server? East USA. You have not. Okay, sounds good. Well, it sounds like it'll be some good practice for your instrument. Cause yeah, getting used to and familiar with that, how you would actually be flying is good. It's good practice. There's the experience. Good experience. There we go. And yeah, starting out early. Yeah. Fun! I do. Like, I'm looking forward to hearing how it works for you. Cause I mean, we have like we can on ForeFlight we can like put in like the procedure and it'll like follow it, but I don't know. It's always like if you miss by just a little bit too much, like if you're coming in from like an angle or something, then it won't like go to the next leg. So a lot of times it's just like But yeah, that sounds cool. Are you gonna go test it out soon? Hopefully. You're gonna make the switch to ForeFlight till they sold it to a private equity firm. I didn't know that. I guess. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm already in it. So I guess. Bah. I do. I wish that they could make it for Android and have it work for Android so that I could go back to that. But I guess that doesn't help the whole that issue. Well, maybe Garmin Pilot will be like really stepping it up. Sounds like they are. So then maybe it'll be a nice competitor and maybe it will be able to be switchable for my own comfort. If I really can't teach an old dog new tricks at that point though, but we'll see. Fear they're gonna raise price. Boo, I hope not. I hope not. I mean, it does have a lot of stuff so that, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, it's like enough where like, okay, if they raise the prices, but still don't want to be like that and then have it skyrocket. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. Yes. What was did the thing. We finished our pre-flight, right? We checked the thing here. Right. Okay. So other thing I forgot to mention. So I came off of my flight and I got stuck behind somebody fueling, and so my pre-Checkride student was like, I'm totally fine with him just bringing it over, coming to pick me up. So I let him know that as I was getting the plane put away, and hopped in, went and did our flight, came back, and did all that stuff. I was able, it was nice because I was actually able to show him on the 172 that antenna issue to kind of like, yeah, check your antennas too and be aware of what those are and where they are, and just, yeah, be familiar with how the aircraft is supposed to look normally, so that if something is off, you can recognize it, even if you don't necessarily know what it is. So yeah, so then after that, had to go back to the 150 hangar, and the owner's dad was there checking on some things, and he was looking at the battery because it hadn't been charging as well as it usually does. So we were wondering about that, and the owner wanted to see if his dad could do anything with it before taking it anywhere. But he couldn't find anything, and I can't remember how it specifically came up, but basically I helped him put the battery cover back on. So we had to take the cowling off to get at the battery cover a bit better. You can take the battery cover off pretty easily, but putting it back on with the cowling cover on is more difficult. So we got the cowling cover off and worked on putting that back on with the little pin things. And he mentioned, he was like, oh yeah, you could still like fly with this off, but it's like, yeah, why would you, and everything. Probably won't. Yeah, you can fly with it off, but like, why do it if you don't have to, sort of a thing. And he mentioned he had taken it off like earlier or whatever, and I was like, well, like, just right? He was like, no, like earlier. And I was like, well, yeah, we went and flew. And he goes, and I was like, and he was like, well, like I said, like, you can do it with it on, or with it off. So, and he was wondering, he was like, it was pretty warm. He didn't think that he ran it for that long. It was pretty warm when he came back in to like look at it and everything. And so I was like, wow. So it was one of those things where I didn't check it because I sort of like a trusted the student sort of thing. And it's like, he's close enough to his Checkride where I need to be trusting him with this stuff. So, yeah, at our next lesson, I brought that up, and I was like, so, hey, did you notice anything last lesson? And, yeah, like I opened up the door and everything, and I was like, so yeah, so what about like this? Did you notice anything like that? And he's like, he thought he kind of did notice it, but like wasn't sure, sort of a thing. But it was like one of those things where if you aren't aware of what you're supposed to be looking for, then you don't necessarily notice it too much. Like, it doesn't trigger anything, right? So that's why the whole thing is like, make sure you notice what, like, how it usually looks, and if there is something different, even if you don't know what it is, be like, make that a point of, okay, I need to stop and kind of look at this a little bit more. So yeah, so that was that. You could test it flying in the airport environment, but you're not. Oh, right. You're not equipped to fly approaches. Right. Dang it. Well, that's good enough too. Cause like, and that's one of the things. Like, yeah, don't go flying instruments with without instrument equipment. But once it is instrument equipped and you're instrument rated, there is like a thing where if in potential emergency situations, using that EFB electronic flight bag, there are stories of it yeah, working. You don't have like necessarily the clearances that the certification requires, but yeah, you use the resources you got. So that I'd be curious to hear how it goes. Yes, I think that was it for that day, so we will continue popping in the plane. Well, sorry, final walk around. Ties, chocks, tow bar, fuel caps, flight controls, baggage door, flight controls, Distracts tow bar. Nothing left on our little tables. Look like a plane. Looks like a plane. All right, so. Check the Hobbs time. Fuel's on both. Circuit breakers. But if we lose power, or sorry, passenger briefing first. Seatbelts on at all times. Exits out the doors to the left and right. For now, make sure they're shut and locked. No talking during takeoff and landing. If we lose power on the rollout, we'll stop on the runway. If it's after takeoff and below 1,000 feet, we'll land straight ahead. If it's above 1,000 feet, we'll consider making a turn back towards the runway. If we were in some sort of instrument conditions, we would have a plan to be coming back in on an approach. We would have our weather, like we talked about earlier, weather above our minimums. And yeah, come back in on an approach. All right. Brakes, pedal test. Did that. See, track back and lock, chicken. Avionics are off. Autopilot is off. Mixture, throttle cracked. Can turn all those off now. I do want our beacon on though. Beacon. Pitot heat can come off. Yeah. Double checking. Avionics, autopilot, carb heat, beacon. Prime it, not gonna prime it. Mixture. It's full rich. Throttle is slight. Brakes are set. Clear left, clear right, clear ahead, clear back. Clear prop. Master goes on. Whee! Avionics. These are our taxi lights and our nav lights. We'll plug our first approach in, and I'll get that set up over here as well. VOR. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. Web full can go off there. All right. I'm actually going to reset the parking brake again. There. Press any button. Bring it up. Green. Double check. Oil pressure. Flaps go up. Avionics are on. Nav lights. Frequencies. ATIS AOS altimeter. All right, so we would put our frequencies in. Have our frequencies in. We'll put our flight plan in. Oh, I guess I could go like this. There. Okay. Boom. So we were going from KGLH. Enter. None. Destination is also KLGH. Did I do it again? GLH. Leangill. There. None. Procedure. Select approach. We're going to do the VOR first. VOR DME. Enter. Via... We were going to do the DME arc. Was that what we were going to do? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So CCAR. Enter. Minimums. We're doing our circling. So 600. Good? Oh, all the way down. And we're just gonna leave that for a second there. So, we have that in. We will put our autopilot. So the flight director first. Heading mode first. Nav is gonna be there. So heading, we want runway heading. Sorry. Sorry, let me just quick look at this one. Okay. I might have to deal with that in a little bit. I'll think about it. Okay, so runway heading is, let me look. We're taking off 18 right. One 181.1. So our heading. We'll keep that for 400 feet. Nav, approach, vertical speed, flight level change, flight director altitude. Sorry, flight level change is what we want. Oops, wrong one. We're gonna go up to, is it just 2,000? $2,000. Altitude 2,000. Flight level change. Altitude VNAV. Back course. All right, good. Then our course. I'm gonna try here quick. So CDI. Not our localizer. I'm gonna see if this works. I mean, it's on our localizer right now, but it... Oops. But we want it for our VOR. 183. That's gonna be, yeah, we'll do that. Well, okay, let's do our weather. METAR, GLH. The 3rd at 1253 Zulu, 150 at 6 knots, 10 statute miles. Clear clouds, 22 degrees Celsius, 21 for a dew point. Altimeter 3001, remarks CO2 different ranges precipitation. Sea level pressure 1016.6. Temperature 22.2, dew point 20.6. 3001. Oop, there. Does that jive? 131. Yes. It is within plus minus 75. There's one more thing I was gonna say and I forgot. Oh well, I guess. So we'll see if this stays. We'll just have to double check it. Let's put both of them. Well, we don't ever use this one, so we're gonna ignore it. Okay. Got all that stuff. That looks good. We got our flight plan still hanging out over here. Good, 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 good. And then, yes, ready for our autopilot. Okay. Yeah, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. Oh, yeah, our speed. Okay, 80. We're gonna do 85. Okay. That looks good, I think. So we got all that stuff set. All that stuff looks good. So, instrument cockpit check. Airspeed indicator should be 0. Attitude indicator should be level. And when we move and turn, it should be plus minus 5 degrees. Less than 5 degrees in any direction, pitch or bank. Altimeter should be, that's what we were doing. Airport elevation, we did check that. Vertical speed indicator is 0. Our ball is going to go to the outside of the turns, and then we will be able to see a little half standard and standard rate in the direction of the turn on there. And our heading should indicate known headings. Air temperature, is that correct? What did we read on here? I thought it was a little bit different. (22), so it's about 5 degrees difference for our thing there. And do we have a clock? I have a clock. Yeah. Okay. Think we're good there. Okay, sorry. Do I have like an invisible livery? You hear the plane. Okay, so I guess potentially bring the mixture back. I have my ideological livery that Tiki made for me. So perhaps I am invisible to you. Sorry. You see me from Seville, Spain. Yay! Excellent. Well, welcome. Happy to have you here. And yes, glad you can see it. Excellent. That makes me happy, at least. Minimum. Sorry, I just noticed that one there. Is that what we want? We were doing circlings, and 600 is correct, so we're good there. Perfect. Okay. So we did that. Did all of that. Let me just double check here quick. Yeah, let me, yeah. Sorry, like I said, like I have some stuff coming up this week that I just need to organize a little bit. Sorry. Agricultural pilot fun, excellent. Yeah, you have no idea about glass cockpit. Well, this is actually, we've been working on it for a little bit, but I wasn't either. I was primarily steam gauges, and then now the couple of planes that I fly, one has an Aspen, which is apparently glass cockpit. Not apparently, it is. I know. As well as the other plane that I fly just recently got updated from steam gauges to a couple of GI 275, so just the little round dials, but same sort of thing. So we've been working on it, as well as the autopilot. The autopilot has been a trip. So we're trying to work ourselves into it, but fun. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? How did you get into it, if I may ask? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm curious. At my home airport, we have a lot of agricultural planes, and even I've seen a helicopter too, and they'll come in and get the stuff in it. There's a big tank there, and yeah, it's fun to see them come in. So I appreciate you guys. Yes, so we have that. We're coming from here. We're gonna take off. Now I kind of want to do the proceed. No. We're gonna take off here, and we're gonna say that they're gonna let us go over the departure end of that one, and then go that way. Yeah. Good, fine, excellent, amazing. Coming out here. Oh, there. Oh, and now I'm all sorts of messed up. Hang on, I'm gonna recenter this. What? Why? There. Okay, sure. How about that? Maybe. Okay. So we did that. Let's look at our airport diagram here for there. Okay. We're just gonna run up area at the end. So, well, yeah. Greenville. Clearance. Now we just talked to Greenville Ground. Greenville Ground, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1 at the GA ramp with Echo. Ready for taxi. Right IFR departure. Sorry, east. Wow. East IFR departure. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. And yeah, I'm just gonna Cessna Hotel, we're gonna pretend that we're getting the full clearance. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. Cleared to Greenville Airport via... What's our first? Via Sikar. Clear direct Sikar. Climb maintain 2000. Squawk 1200. Hold for release. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1 is cleared to Greenville via Sikar. Climb maintain 2000. Squawk 1200. And hold for release. Actually, it wouldn't be a hold for release. They'd just be like, yeah, they would just be squawk and departure, and then they would then we would call when we're ready for taxi. Yeah, that. So Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1 is ready for taxi at the GA ramp. IFR departure to the east. Then they'd say, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, taxi 18 right. Via Bravo. Taxi 18 right via Bravo. Oh, I guess we're actually at the parking apron, but that'll be fine. Taxi 18 right via Bravo. Hold short 18 right. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. Okay, all right. So while we're taxiing, parking brake is off. You want to learn about all this? I can't say that because I'm a lady. But yes, exactly, because you only know how to fly by instinct. You only know how to fly by instinct. But like, I will. That's the thing is, I prefer the learning and the teaching from the steam gauge stuff, because you do get that instinct, right? And then once you get to this stuff, it's just like, it's a video game. You just learn how to play the video game. But yes, it does take a bit to actually like get used to and figure out and practice being familiar with the things. So it is. That's why I'm practicing in here, because I am at some point gonna have to start doing the more yeah, that sort of stuff. So yeah, we've been struggling our way through it. Movement area boundary. Boom! We are on the taxi area. That's fine. We were cleared. So yeah, so working through it has been interesting, and you end up getting used to it. It helps make other things make more sense as well. So yeah, again, so starting off on the steam gauges, yes. Eventually having the capability for both. That's like the ideal, right? So yeah. And it does make it, like I said, I have an Aspen in the 150 that I fly, so getting used to that did take a little bit. And that's what I started doing that. I started using the 150 with the Aspen for my instructor training. So it was like, okay, I need to know how to use this stuff. And then like for the GI 275s, I have to know how to use those because I'm going to be instructing instruments in that. So yeah. Oh, they didn't have a run-up area. Okay, that's fine. So we tested our there and there, like we talked about, balls outside, and the turn rate is with the rudder. Our angle of bank and pitch did not exceed ±5 degrees on our attitude indicator. Our altimeter is still where it needs to be, field elevation and airspeed 0, vertical speed indicator 0, heading indicated known headings. Excellent. Okay, yep. So, double checking our what's it? Run up, brake set, fuels on both, trim for takeoff, flight controls are free. Oh, shoot, frick. No. Frickin', frackin', frukin', gosh. You know what? I'm just gonna have it up. Sorry. I still have this set up for my multi-engine practice. So I keep bumping the dang thing. Okay. Flight controls, free and correct. Instruments, green. EGT, our vacuum, fuel quantity, quality, amps and volts, our instruments, airspeed indicator, we went over all of those. Excellent, amazing. Mixtures best in power, primers in and locked, 1700. We don't have carb heat in this one, sorry. 1 mag. 2 mags. Checked all of our instruments again. Oil pressure, temperature, vacuum, amps, volts. Idle check closed. $1,000. Flap 0 to 10. Mixtures best in power. Carb heat, P2 heat, heading indicator, doors, windows, transponder, landing light, strobes, time. Time is, oh, timer. There's our timer. I don't know how to use it though. Map, HSI, PFD options. There. Start. Oop. Hey, look at. We figured it out. That's cool. I'm not gonna play with that though. I'll do it on here. So Greenville Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, holding short, runway 18 right, IFR to the east. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, clear for takeoff, runway 18 right. Clear for takeoff, 18 right. Yep. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, clear for takeoff, runway 18 right. Yep. All right, clear left, clear right. So that means we can go direct once we're, yeah. So we're cleared via direct to, what's it? Little close, little close. Airspeed's alive, engine instruments are in the green. Oh, I guess I could have tried for a 0-0 takeoff. All right, so at 400 feet, we can start our turn toward whatever it's called. You can follow the flight director. 400 feet.
Don't sink.
I am going to. This is why we don't look down for too long. All right, that should be 400. So we're going to activate our approach.
Don't sink.
And move it to our GPS. There we go. Monitoring. So now I guess we'll go like so. Actually, I'll wait until it straightens out. There we go. Okay. So now there. Okay. So we have our flight plan in. We're going to Sikar. So keeping in mind, oh my gosh, you know what I didn't do? Sorry. Unnecessary. There it is. Okay, so we are heading to Sikar. So we'll go over some ATC stuff as well as how to fly. We'll go over how to fly stuff on the DME arc. We'll have a little time. So we are, let us see. We are 10 nautical miles, 10.8, there it is, okay. 10 miles from our initial approach fix, so we want to make sure that we've done all of the things that we need to do. So, if we were en route... Oh, and I guess I should kind of, hang on. How did I do this? So yes, so when I went and did lesson with Friend Instructor, he said, we're gonna go do this It was an RNAV. We're doing a VOR here. RNAV circling, then we're gonna go to the ILS over at this airport, and then we're gonna go do an RNAV back into the airport where we were at. So it was like, okay, all right. And so we were gonna go take off, and there's more story before this on that day, but we'll just focus on this one right now. So bringing it down, there it is. All right. We are configured. And it was basically a few miles one direction to this airport. So we were basically taking off and going immediately to the initial approach fix and going. So I was flustered and everything, did some of the stuff, did not do some of the stuff. But like, so yeah, so for now we have a little bit more time, so I'll try and do some of the ATC stuff. And we've done that before, so I think he's okay. He did. He said he was okay. He's been okay with my ATC stuff, so we'll go with that. So for our VOR approach, our circling approach, ATIS AWAS. We got our ATIS AWAS. We're set with that. We have our ATIS AWAS. Build it, bug it, brief it. So we have it loaded into the GPS. We have briefed it. So let's just make sure. So Sikar, we're at 2,000. We're going direct to Sikar. We're going to do our DME arc at 12 at 2,000 feet. Then we're going to turn in. Once we're established on the final approach course, we can get to 1,800 at the final approach fix of Jizru. Then we can start our descent to our circling minimums of 600. Our misapproach is climb 2,000 along 176 radial direct to Flam. Which I guess we'll kind of look here. There, yep, so it's got it in there. Perfect. Okay, and checklist. So carb heat, fuel is on, undercarriage is fixed, mixture is full rich, power, propeller pumps, safety, seatbelts, and security. So at some point, ATC might ask us, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, let us know when you have the weather at Greenville and what approach you would like to request. And we would say, we have the weather at Greenville and we would like VOR 18 right. And then they would say, expect runway or expect VOR 18 right. And at this point, they would probably potentially say, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, 5 miles from Sikar, cleared for the VOR 18, oh, sorry, maintain at or above 2,000 until established on a published portion of the approach, cleared VOR runway 18 right via Sikar. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, maintain at or above 2,000 until established, cleared VOR 18 right into Greenville via Sikar. All right. Did that? Good. Have our nav frequencies in the radio. We probably should double check this. Once we're on the DME arc, we'll check our VOR. We're going to slow to 100, or actually we're not. We will slow to 100 as we get closer to the final approach fix. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna be turning soon, or our autopilot is gonna be turning soon. This is so nice. I feel like I can do more. Magenta HSI for the procedure turn. That includes the DME arc. CDI is displayed on the nav radio. That's for specific aircraft. And yeah, we're good for that at the moment. So, okay, we have just a little bit of time, so I'm gonna quick do story time. What is this one for? Oh, did Yep, so that was, did VFR day cross-country flight with post-solo private student. And yeah, I believe that went fine. Excellent. Next time, what was this? The next time was, since we're turning, I guess we'll wait. Oh, actually, my student, pre-Checkride private student had another solo within there. Practice some stuff again. Oh, and then post-solo private student also did some solo. He said it went swell, so that's good. I was actually creeping on that one. I always forget when my other student has it because I trust him. And then, yeah. And that's it for now. We will continue doing our stuff. So, DME arc. We're maintaining 12 DME on that arc. We're maintaining that altitude. Oh, yeah, actually, sorry. I was trying to bring it down to 1,000 or 100, but we're not going to do that. Maintaining that. We are on our arc. We are established. Let me double check. And I guess we'll see here quick what happens when we switch to CDI. So we're in roll mode currently. I should have done that when we were straight and level. But I think I didn't quite notice. Hang on. Course is still 183. And that is what we want. Perfect. VOR 114.25. That is our VOR DME. That is also perfect. And again, it throws me off because this is the standby and this is what's actually on. 124.85 is not one of these frequencies. But that's okay. Howdy doody! Hello, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. We're on our DME arc. Let me just double check. So, and we did. We talked about. We're going. We're going. CTOP towers in standby. Airplane is clean. Magenta HSI for the procedure turn. We got our magenta HSI. We could do our heading. We actually want it. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. 183. We want it to be. I should have just left it. There. So, the next thing that we did. Ooh, this is gonna be split view. Stop. Okay, hang on. Can I have 3 separate screens up? Oop. Oh, okay, fine. No, I can't. So we're gonna exit out of that. Oops. Close. Since we have a little bit of time on our arc. So then I had another day of lessons. With pre-Checkride private student. We worked on slow flight, we worked on stalls. Oh, that is actually, okay, I'll go quick. Slow flight, stalls, power off and on in recovery, short and soft field takeoffs, and landings, because we haven't done those in a while. So what happened was, for one of the earlier another lesson beforehand, this one student texted me and said, hey, or no, there was a note in the aircraft that said, hey, the fuel pump wasn't working. So yeah, so didn't get to get fuel for it. And this was before, post-solo private students are long cross country. So yeah, so we had to fill up anyway, so that was fine. Or yeah, waiting, sorry. So it did, we had time, we had a nice long block. So we went and like I checked it and it seemed like it worked, and we went and we were able to fill it up, and then I was able to work it out with him to like get paid for that. And then yeah, so for long cross country, what I like to do is take them there, have them fill up there so they can kind of see how like the different fuel setups work. Go into the FBO, check that out, see what there is to be seen, and then yeah. So I assumed that it was a an operator error situation, because it is like the fuel things can be tricky and sometimes it just doesn't catch and everything. So it was working after that, so I assumed that that was what it was. So then before this day, that student texted me again and said, hey, it looks like you're on later. Fuel tank wasn't working again. And I was like, okay, so what was the issue? Like, maybe I could help fix it. No, I was not able to help fix it because yeah, he got it all working and then it gave like a half a gallon of fuel and then stopped. So it was like, okay, yeah, that's new, nothing I can help with. So then coming for lessons that day, tried to fill up again and it did not work. So I contacted the guy who I talked to about it before, and he said he's gonna try and figure it out. So it was like, okay, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna have either a slightly shorter lesson or we're gonna have to go somewhere else and fuel up. Plus, if it doesn't get fixed by then, we're gonna have to fuel up over there and then come back. Yeah, that whole thing. Fun, convenient. So then we did. We went and worked on all that stuff. And it was a good experience for him. Went and did the short and soft field takeoffs and landings. Or yeah, we did a couple of them at the airport where we were gonna go get fuel. There were people working on it when we came back, but it was not fixed. So we fueled up there. We fueled up a little bit extra and it turned out to be just perfect for my next lesson. And then my next lesson was going to be intro to night ops for my post-solo, private student, which is fun because we were just going to do our 8 takeoffs and landings in the pattern and then be done, but because of the fuel situation, we had to wander over to another airport again and come back. So we got a little bit of the cross-country ops in there as well, because it wasn't done by the time we were done, so we wandered over there, got some more experience with different airport for now, and then came back. So it was a little bit later than I anticipated, but you work with what you got. Doing good. You're making double I lesson plans as well. Excellent. Okay, so by the way, we should talk about this. I had an epiphany here. Well, 2 miles. I had an epiphany where I was looking at the wrong thing. So not for the chart in the PTS that says the stuff that you're supposed to do. It is not the IA one, it is just the AP one. So just airplane, because we do not currently have our double I. Does that make sense? Yeah, I felt so silly. But yes, good. Making your own, I do think, is helpful. Like, I do. I have backseat pilot, but I have used it in order to make my own, because otherwise, like, it does. I want it to make sense for me. So, yeah. So that's, I don't know, my own thing. And yes, absolutely. Very, very tedious, but helpful. Closing that, opening this. We are on our final approach. However, so now that we're coming in, ooh, this is gonna be tricky. Hang on. CDI, roll, nav. No, nav. VOR. Okay. So we're following our VOR. Our course is 183. We are established because we are right in the center there. So, yep. So we are established. We could start descending. We're switched to green needles, VLOC. Final approach course is set. Time. So, we'll get that ready. Because we're not yet at our final... Hang on. Jizru. That's 3.3 DME. Oh, sorry, it's right over here. The blinky thing was bothering me. There, I'm gonna put it. FAF. There, we'll go like that. Jizru is the FAF. time, so we're gonna do that. Gear is down, tower, so we can make our call. How far out are we? Yeah, we can wait just a little bit. Lights, so we have our landing light and stuff on. Landing lights on. Lights, click, 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 and we are looking for nothing. We are making sure not to land on the runway with an approach light system. We're going to 18 right. All right, so 2,000, again, we're maintaining 2,000. We could get down to 1,800, but why? We don't wanna. We got 5 miles till Jizru. Okay, perfect. You do a little bit of column A and column B. Good, excellent. If it involves a lot of imagery like weather, then you'll use backseat pilot slides. That's probably a good idea. And yeah, I should probably look at that. I've been trying to work on like one for myself, like the weather sources one, but kind of don't wanna. So yeah, I probably should look at that because I've been using the just their lesson plans and not the slides. So I definitely should look at the slides. And you're
5.7 miles.
Thank you, ForeFlight. You're really big on not reinventing the wheel. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. But I don't know. Like for me, it's not for me. It helps me eventually in the actual teaching process. So like I put all of that work in, studied, practiced, and then all of that stuff is like in my brain, so that when I'm pulling that stuff out, when I'm instructing, I know exactly where it is mentally. Fav and Freerf. Fav and Freerf. Oh gosh, do I know what Freerf is? Did I say it wrong? Oh no. I like it either way. Can I quick get through anything else? Oh, okay, so 2.6 nautical miles. Quick. So so I talked about the 150 what needed to go get maintenance. So it's gonna go get checked for like the charging situation as well as it needed its 100 hour. So I was gonna have the plane anyway to go do flight with friend instructor, and so yeah, so the other CFI was going to take the 150, and I was going to already have the 172. I went a little bit earlier than I was planning to, but that is fine. We're going to bring it down a little bit. We don't want to be going 120 knots on the approach. Gentle corrections. So, yeah, so we both got there at our times, and I was getting ready to go. There was a guy there that just flew in from somewhere else, so we chatted a little bit. And I noticed that there was like potentially a little bit of a squishy brake, as well as potentially short or like tire that needed a little inflating. So again, probably paranoid, and it turns out probably was a little bit paranoid. So I was gonna have home airport look at that when we got there. So we did. We both took off, and he took off before me, and I was like catching up. So he did a 360, so I went in first. And I was able to go talk to the owner over there. Outer marker. But we don't have an outer marker for this. So it's gonna... Oh, shoot! I forgot to do... vertical navigation. You know what? We're going to pause and hand fly it. Pausing story time. Oops, wrong button. So, autopilot off. We're getting down to 1,800. And we got our timer going. I'm gonna turn the flight director off. And at the FAF, so we are 1,900. Gentle corrections. First notch of flaps. 3600 is our MDA. Gentle corrections. Get on my rudders. 183 is what we're looking for our heading. We got this nice synthetic vision. All right, we passed over our VOR. Coming back in, maintaining our heading. Deep, send. .183, we're looking at our missed approach point. Oh, is the VOR DME. So we are circling. Oh, sorry, actually we have to go out of the plane. So we see it, we're circling. Sorry, that's probably something I should have looked at a little bit closer. I always assume the runway, but when you assume, you make, yep, that. So we are circling, yay! We're going to runway 36 left, and we can maintain, we are visual, so we can maintain at or above our MDA. So we are circling, we want to maintain within 1.3 nautical miles of the runway, which I need to, so I mentioned one time, I talked to Friend Instructor about that, and he mentioned something about like over in Denver, your 1.3 nautical miles would be away from any runway, and I took that to mean any airport. And so I was confused, so I asked him again, and he was like, no, a runway on the same airport. So yeah, that helped a little bit. Oh no, we've flown into a cloud. So we are going to go back and fly. We're gonna circle towards our runway. And we're already up at this altitude, so whatever. We are going to, like that, we're gonna unsuspend. We're gonna follow our missed approach. And we're gonna turn our autopilot back on. Roll, nav. Nav mode. All right, reconfiguring. So we would pitch up because we would have been being lower. Sorry, so angry. We would have been lower. We would have pitched up. We would have put our flaps in. We would call. We would say wherever we are, traffic. Well, oh, I guess it was the tower. So, Greenville. It is Greenville, right? Greenville Tower, Cessna. Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1, going missed 18 right. And then, so what I had to do was, I was at an untowered airport, so I had to, yeah, do that, say, hey, traffic, and then switch over to center and say, hey, center, we're on the missed approach. And they were like, all right, continue, and hey, the ILS, over at this airport there's some other planes. I don't know. It's working over here, so maybe that is something that you should consider. So then I would say, okay. So, sorry, no. Cessna Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1, Roger. We'll let you know. Okay. I have my power is up. Get your nose down. Okay, anywho. So, we are going to maintain this heading for a bit. So, we're gonna go on to heading mode instead. Oops. Nope. GPS. Get back on our GPS course. And then we're going to heading and then heading select. Perfect. Okay. So that's good. Now we're going to put in our RNAV. Which one did we decide? Oh, I didn't put the approach on, for the love of God. Sorry. So, forgot about that. So there's that. You can take a look-see. While we go outside the plane. Look at how pretty it is. Yay. Get it in the center. I want to get the sun, though. Always want to get the sun. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. So, yes. We're doing that. We're on heading mode. We're deleting this stuff and putting up our other approach. Which is... there. Rolling up. Shoot, which one is it? I forgot to look. RNAV 36 left. Kevin. Um, 454. Oh God, what did I do? Activate. Nav mode. All right, 2000, 2000, 1800. We're also gonna do VNav. Vertical navigation. FAF is 1800. So we're gonna go like that. All right, so let me pop this like so you guys can see it. Feels so awkward sitting like this. There. Okay. So, yes, we're coming up on our Kevin. We did some of our ATC stuff there, so it's gonna do our hold for us. So keeping in mind with the hold, we're going to our fix, then we're going to teardrop, unless it decides to give us a parallel, whatever. I don't want to do a parallel. We'll see what it gives us. We're doing a hold in lieu of procedure turn. And then we will be coming back in. We will be established once at the first sign of needle movement coming back in from the turn. Maintaining at or above 2000 until Kevin at least, and we can intercept the glide slope. Capture the glide slope before that, so even if we're not down at 18, we want to be at least at 18 or at 1800 or higher for capturing of the glide slope. We don't want to be too high, so that's why we stick with our given altitudes. Excellent. Okay. Something that also helps with the teaching process is finding people with way more experience, way more teaching experience doing it, and stealing how they teach it because they're more eloquent than you are. That is also incredibly fair. Yes, that is an excellent choice. Sorry. Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah, no, absolutely. I do. I steal stuff from other people as well. Cause I mean it is. It's just like flying itself. You can't know and do and learn everything. You can't make every mistake, so learn from other people's. Not just mistakes, but the stuff that they have found that works. Approach mode is used, not VNAV. Okay, so one of the things is I have also been told that approach, do that at the final approach fix. So I don't know, I've started trying to use VNAV first and then trying to remember to switch it to approach at the FAF. So we'll see. And bug altitude to mins. See, I've heard that too, but if I already have my mins down here, I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of want my FAF there so that it reminds me to not go below the you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's the other thing too, is like there are different ways of doing it. Maybe I'm not doing it the right or like a good way, but we'll see. Only big corrections and no rudder. No, absolutely not. No, none at all. I know, I'm actually, because we're on autopilot, I'm just like sitting back. My feet aren't even on the rudders, and so I kind of had to remind myself to wake my feet up. So yes, friend instructor he did mention that I needed to do a bit more like gentler corrections with stuff, and that has always been like a bit of an issue for me. But I think what happens is like I try to do a little bit, and then I haven't found that sweet spot yet right away for instrument flying, which for instrument instruction flying, where I'm like, I'll go a little bit, go a little bit, go a little bit. Then it's like, oh, for the love of God. It's like the needle's going all the way over and it's like, okay, sort of a thing. So, yeah. So I get maybe a little bit frustrated, as well as I was trying to, so this, I'm trying to, I'm trying to understand how to use the little diamond right here, because that's what friend instructor has been trying to get me to like help with that stuff. Altitude. Because that's like your track, right? So if you put the diamond onto the course in order to maintain the course, that's what you want to do. You want that diamond going with your course. And I did. We had worked on that a little bit the one time, and then I had tried it, and then I had forgotten some of the stuff that he said, so working on that again was incredibly helpful. And I think so I was doing it slightly wrong. I was getting it mixed up, what I was supposed to do with the diamond in the course. So that was potentially part of it, where I wasn't correcting it properly and in enough time. So then that's why it was like a little bit frustrating, and I was doing a little bit larger corrections than I should have. But yes, I am. I'm looking forward to working on that some more and getting better at it. All right, so did our stuff, did our procedure turn. We, yeah, the first sign of needle movement, that was when we were established, and now we're on the course. Excellent, amazing. Our glide slope is in view. Might also be active. We'll see in a little bit, I guess. CTAP tower in standby. We don't have to call them yet. Oh, yep, yeah, we do. Or, yeah, tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, 10 miles out on the RNAV 36 left. They'll say clear to land, 36 left. Then Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, clear to land, 36 left. Clear to land, 36 left. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. Okay, so we're coming down. We're at 2,000. Our glide slope is coming in. We're maintaining that 2,000, so we don't have to worry about descending to our final approach fix. We'll capture the glide slope a little early, and just remember to maintain at or above 1,800 as we start descending. Our glide slope is active, if we didn't mention that already. Once it gets to we're about a dot below, or half a dot below, then we'll start our configuration for that FAF / glide slope capture. All right, half dot, so 1,900. And I guess I should probably put the autopilot off, because otherwise it's just gonna hold it. So clicking it off, flight director off. So I want following, heading, okay, I will just freaking so irritating. It is, it's things like this where it's like I have the engine all the way freaking out and I was still like climbing. It's fine. There, we'll just do a power off 3 or power off 0. All right, there's our descent. Following that glide slope. We want 90, so we're gonna get to that vertical speed. Coming in nice and gentle like rudders. Power in just a smidgen. Get to that 90. Glide slope is captured. Minimums are 454. It's probably a little bit much.
3 mile final runway 36 left.
Thank you, for flight. A little below the glide slope. Coming back up. Or just maintaining until we're back on. 454, so 500 to minimums. Oh, we talked about partial panel. I'll bring that up when we're on the go. This makes it a little bit easier. How I'm apparently supposed to be doing it.
500.
Thank you, for flight. So 454, 300 to minimums. 100 to minimums. Synthetic vision, a little above, gentle corrections. $454 is our minimums. So we are climbing, and 400 above our what's it is going to be about 600, so we can oh, and that's what I could have done, is I could have done the oh, and the freaking flight level change isn't in, so there. So now it's climbing us, and we're getting on our, let's make sure, Missed approach. So we're still apparently going to our missed approach point. We're gonna unsuspend and continue on. There we go. Missed approach hold point. Okay, we're on our way. So we're gonna let ourselves get into the hold, and then we'll come back in. So, missed approach, climb, so power in, nose up, flaps up, tower, Greenville Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1, Delta 1, on the missed approach, RNAV at 36 left. Roger, let us know what you would like to do. The ILS is available. Oh, well, let me get to the mist, and then we will see about that. How's that sound? So yes, looking at the ILS, will report Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. Okay, so getting that together. Oops, shoot. Always do that. No, this one. Starting to rev up. So we bring it back to our green area on our... Sorry. Okay. Did that. So yeah, so partial panel. So again, I have the GI 275s, so it's like this. I'm wondering if I can I? Yeah, so I am supposed to be able to press this, and this is supposed to swap to this. And that's the thing. So I have the GI 275s, it's a little circle bit here, and it's a little circle bit here. And it's the same. It's got the PFD, the MFD there. So what the assumption is the DP is just going to put a sticky note over the PFD, and then I just have to turn the little button so that it switches to that same information. Whereas if I pop the circuit breaker on the PFD, it does not give you course guidance on the MFD. So the intent then would be, yes, just sticky note, and then you have all the, it's just putting it onto there. So yes, you would just not have the like nice HSI and everything. It's just a little tiny little course indicator there and a glide slope up here. So yeah, so that's nice. That's nice to know. That's good there. We're almost to our missed approach hold point, 4 nautical miles. So we will let ourselves get into the hold, and then we will start working toward, we'll come in, we'll get into the procedure like that, and then once we come around in the outbound, then we'll put it on heading mode, and then we'll put our stuff in and come back in. Powering out just a smidgen. Okay. Well, as we're getting into this logbook, what were we doing? Oh, so yeah, I don't remember quite where we were, but yeah, so I went and came in, was talking to the owner, taking the 150 in for maintenance, and yeah, he said it might not be done for a little while, so we'll see what happens, whether or not I'll have any lessons for a little bit. And then have to get back to some other people for potential flying things, different flying things. And yeah, weird week this week. Figuring things out. And then, yeah, went to, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So, flew with friend instructor. We finished. I had to do one hold, and he had to do his passenger currency. Almost wasn't gonna do that, but we had enough time, so he did. And it was kind of funny being in that position, and yeah, allowing him to do that stuff. He did just fine, but it was like that, just flying jets for a while and then having to come back into the little one. The side picture's a little different and all of those things. So yeah, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with allowing students to, or I should say, with allowing students to kind of fix their own stuff. So yeah, I let him fix his stuff, and I mean, like I said, again, he did just fine and came back around. The one thing I could say is he left the power in a little bit longer than I would have expected, so I mentioned that, and he's like, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, but it was fun giving him crap about it. But it was also nice, I mentioned this too to him, where I do, as an instructor, like, I'm starting to think, okay, are you gonna get this thing, are you gonna do this thing? And then if they don't, am I supposed to mention it, right? Because you do, being picky and not like, meh. And he would, all the things I would be like, okay, is he gonna do, is he gonna say this or whatever? And he did. And it was like, it was so nice to have that moment of, yes, you did the thing, rather than being like, ugh, am I gonna have to? Yeah, so it was fun, it was nice. And then, so yeah, he had to head out, did my logbook. We were going to sign me off today, but we ran out of time and we didn't want to like be rushing it. So we'll do paperwork hopefully next time and then be ready to go from there, I guess. We'll see. And then, yeah, I was sitting on the ramp for a little while, kind of like getting some stuff done. And then all of a sudden I had my back to, yeah, a direction. And then I kind of glanced back a little bit and I realized, oh, it's kind of dark over there. So I was like, I have to book it back. Felt like a monster was chasing me the whole time. It was fine. It was totally fine. It was further away than it seemed, but it was just one of those like, yeah, I should probably watch those things. But yeah, it was funny. And he texted me and he's like, did you make it back? And I was like, yes, I did. But it was good. And then what else did I do? Yeah, more stories for another day, I guess. Doing some double I study sessions if I end up with some free time. I actually have an instrument student right now I'm supposed to be working with at some point if I get any free time. If I get any free time beyond that, sure. And yes, I do fly in the US. Do you also fly in the US? Because yes, that would be a little bit difficult to do like the both, but it could be helpful as well. So yes. We are established. Hang on. We are not yet established in the hold. We will be established once we cross over our point again. So once we start our turn into the hold, then we will be established. Once we roll out on that outbound, we're gonna stick it onto the heading mode like we talked about. And then we'll, yeah. Because it's 10 nautical miles from the VOR DME. Wait, hang on. Ooh, okay, so how far are we from the VOR DME? We are... Ooh, just. I do. I wish you could put like a standby flight plan in. That would be cool. I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, I could actually like get this set up so that I could get rid of it. There. Set up for getting rid. 0, and it looks like we are set, so... oh, shit. Words I can't say, 'cause I'm a lady. Sorry. We're gonna get back on that. And then we're gonna do our heading. And then we're gonna do that. That's why we notice if something's doing something it's not supposed to. Then we do nav. Okay, we're heading. So, clear, enter, procedure, approach, ILS, 18 left, enter. We're gonna go to GLH. Enter. Minimums are 329. The 330. Enter. 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 Nav mode. We're a little past 10 nautical mile. But, yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I guess it might be sending us just to what's it called? No. Procedure. Hang on. Hang on. There. Okay. This is what we're doing. Hang on. Flight plan. Direct. Enter. There. Okay. Fixed it. Vena. Vertical navigation. We're gonna get down to our 1800. There. Okay. Going to Lobby since we're past that. We're in. We're going to do this heading. Oh, okay. Oh, it switched it for us. I forgot about that. Our course is 181. We're set for that. We're established on the final approach course. All right, it's set. It is identified, monitored. We're maintaining at or above 1800. Or we're gonna say 2000. We're at 2000. So we're gonna capture the glide slope and follow it down. Glide slope is in view. Okay. So what we're looking for next is that glide slope capture. And then quake. Quake is our faff. One more. So yes, we can talk about like in order to stay. We've gone over like maintaining, and that's one of the things is talking to the other instructor now, Double I, getting the gouge on my DP. He mentioned that he said they went out, they did the certain approaches, and the one thing that he would have said, the examiner said, was talking more. So like that's one of the things is like, okay, so we're past there, we're going to our FAF. That's one of the things is like, okay, yes, the more you talk, I guess the more that you can direct the Checkride. Like if we're just kind of doing whatever, then it's like, oh, so let's talk about our scan. We're going to talk about our scan. So we want to be making sure our attitude indicator is our artificial horizon for visual flying. We use our horizon to orient ourselves. So we want to use that artificial horizon as our primary instrument. I don't necessarily want to say that. We want to, that's our hub. We're always going to be coming back to our hub. And then the rest of the instruments, we are going to come out and back in, like spokes on a wheel. Double checking all of them, not neglecting any of them, not focusing too much on any of them. We want a full, complete picture using all of the instruments in order to make sure we are maintaining control of that aircraft and what we want the aircraft to be doing. Altitude, course, speed, all those things. So, maintaining level with the horizon should be level on our attitude indicator. Altimeter shouldn't be moving. Airspeed should be solid, unless we're adjusting power. And then heading should be the heading that we want it to be. Coordinated, we want that. Vertical speed indicator should also be 0. And then again, we're like straight in. So once we start our descent, we will need to back off on the power in order to maintain a certain speed. So we want a lower speed as well as a lower altitude. So we are going to bring that power to 1900. That's why we do that on the approach. And since we want things to be happening a little bit slower, the autopilot is going to hold the attitude that it needs for the altitude, and we're gonna back the power off so that we're not going so freaking fast. Yeah, so glide slope is in view and it is also active. We are on our green needles, we are centered on our course, we're at our 2000. And then I was gonna mention something else. Oh, that's what I was gonna say is like, so yeah, so talking more is you can kind of direct the Checkride, like check the boxes that you want to act like you know what you're talking about. However, the more you talk as well gives you more of a potential for saying something silly, right? So I don't know, we'll see. 1900, first notch of flaps, autopilot's coming off, capturing of the glide slope. I don't want the flight director anymore. Do I? Actually, maybe I do. I think the ILS is good. All right, so we want to capture that glide slope. I forgot to do the click the approach button. Coming to our quake, gentle corrections, holding that altitude. 1900 is what we want. Time, once we get to our quake, 0.6 nautical miles, get that timer ready. Okay, good. Maintaining our glide slope. There's our outer marker. That is our FAF. So our timer is set. We do have our glide slope. You know what? There. Doing it myself. So I think one of the things that's throwing me off here, well, when I get it there, is the scale of the VSI. Because it goes all the way down to 2,000, and the VSIs that I'm used to only go to 1,000. So, like, so 3/4 of the way along it for me is three-quarters of the way along it for me is what's it called? Like 700 feet per minute. Whereas for this one, it's closer to 1,500. So keeping that in mind, knowing your instruments
2 mile final runway 18 left.
Thank you for flight. Again, we don't want to climb all over our mother-fathering. I swear to God that this thing does not do what. It's probably a me problem. It's probably a me problem. But I promise, I fly better than an actual plane. Locked in. Our minimums are 329.
$500.
Thank you for flight and flight simulator. $200 minimums. And the ILS does get more sensitive as we get closer. So keeping that in mind, coming up on our minimums. So there it is, and we're landing. Don't have to dive and drive. We can maintain our glide slope. Aiming point is before the 1,000 footers, so that we land somewhere nearby the 1,000 footers. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Let's go. What runway did we land on? Do we need to cross another runway to get to where we need to go? I don't remember. 36 left. 18 left. Yep. We need to cross a runway. Where is it? So first we need to find ourselves a taxiway. Oh, that's annoying. It's all the way down. I mean, there is a closed runway. We're gonna say, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, cleared to cross. Cleared for the closed runway. There's nobody there. Oh. Or that one. What is that one? Oh yeah, that's the one that we want. What was the other one? Oh wait, no, there is a tiny runway. Hang on, hang on. Ignore, ignore, ignore. That's a sneaky little runway. Ooh, that's kind of tricky. Okay. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, cross runway 18 right, and continue to the ramp via Delta. Yeah, via Delta. Crossing runway 18 right, taxiing to the ramp via Delta. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1.
Approaching runway 18 right. 36 left.
Thank you for flight. Continuing on Delta.
Right. 36 left.
Oh, no, not that one. This way. Continuing. We're crossing the runway first. Cross the runway first. And then continue on Delta. Alright. There. We were at a towered airport, so they would cancel our flight plan for us. And yeah, otherwise we would contact whoever we were told to cancel. And yep. We'll whip around. Boop, there, perfect, amazing. All right, so final things. Flaps up, mixture. So we check our instruments. Does everything look normal? like they should. So kind of do just a quick look over for all of our things. Everything looks normal. Good, good. I think I repeated myself a little bit. And then avionics. Strobe lights, nav lights will leave on. Taxi light, landing light, beacon will leave. Actually, nav lights go off. And then throttle down. Mixture, continue. Master mags. There. And then we can take a look-see around to see if anything else is not good. So our pitot tube, our antennas again, and ties, chocks, tow bars, engine, final walk around. And hopefully DP would say, yes, good, excellent, bye. And then I would say, sweet. And then, yeah, we'll see. Oh no. Ah! I'm just like, I still feel so blah, about all of the things. Constructor thinks I'm ready. He said that my ATC stuff was actually better than his when he did his. So hopefully that is true. Cause and there were just like a couple of different things the last time that during our last lesson that just I wish it was better. I wish I felt more comfortable, but the thing is like I don't ever feel comfortable before a check. So finding that balance between finding that balance between I'm actually not ready and I just feel like I'm not ready because I'm not perfect. I will learn as I go. Do I know enough where I'm not gonna make a major mistake with a student? Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, what does it look like? It looks like a okay, I feel like we've had this before. It looks like a snail that's racing because it's going really fast with its little snail non-feet. But it's also stretching its neck to reach the finish line. Yeah. So what did we do? We went over regulations and publications related to IFR operation. And then we went and did sort of MockISH Checkride. Is there anything else that we talked about that would be good to go over? I don't know. So yes. So we taxied. We did our pre-flight and all those things. We took off. And we went that way. Did the DME arc for the VOR circling. Went missed, so we turned back towards the runway and then got back onto the missed approach course. Went out there, did procedure turn to come back in for our RNAV. Oh yeah. So we did the hold. We did hold entry, our hold in lieu of procedure turn, and then came back in for that, and then we went full missed and did our procedure turn entry, and then came back in like so, and then so our RNAV is slightly offset from our ILS, which is interesting. We came back in on the ILS and landed, and yes, so I couldn't on my thing. It's super hidden. Yeah, it's hidden. This thing right here, right before this. And so I was just gonna go on this one and go down here and go up there. But then, yeah, it was like, oh, this one's here, and then there's another one here, so there is actually one that's open right in the middle, which makes sense. So then we went there and crossed and went there, and yeah. Ugh. So yeah. Yep. You feel like healthy anxiety is a good thing, keeps you striving for better. Right, but healthy is the key word. I don't know, that's the thing, is like, I'm at the point. So usually, I feel like usually if I don't want to do it, I'm not ready. But if I want to get it over with, I'm okay. But at the same time, it's like that seems like a really bad way of gauging it, because it's like just wanting to get it over with. You know what? Like that seems like a hello, by the way, how's it going? It seems like a, I don't know. Is like what about, like it's worked before, but what about when it's not correct? So, or yeah, I don't know. And that's the other thing, looking at the PTS and being like, oh, I was actually not looking at the correct PTS. Luckily, I've been working on the other things. So yeah, so I'll have to look at that again. What the flubber flub is this? An afternoon Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1 sighting. Oh yes, you feel attacked. You're definitely rip out that Band-Aid flubber up guy. Yes. But no, again, so for me, the way that my mind and mentality works is so for some people it's like, yeah, just go do it and get it done. I wish I was one of those people. I wish I was one of you people, but I'm not. I'm just like, okay, I have to be looking at every single potential that could happen, because if I feel like I'm a lot less able to just wing things. I need to have at least considered the possibility before. So yeah, just do it. I know. We're getting there. I have to get scheduled and everything, but I am. We will, again, with the PTS thing, I have a little bit more work to do there, but I'm going to check out the backseat pilot slides just to make sure if he does go off some sort of a script, it'll be fine. So yeah, other than that, I don't know. There's just a couple, there's a couple more things. I haven't looked at the magnetic turn to headings in a while, which sounds bad, but yeah. So like there's just a couple things that I just want to make sure I look at again and practice again. So yes. Oh, but yes. We were early today because I have some stuff going on this week that it made more sense for me to do it earlier in the day, so that I'm not being wrong button. So that I'm not being so late and getting to bed late, sort of a situation. So yeah. We'll find some. Hey, maybe we'll actually have somebody to raid. Let's go see. See if we got some lows and slows. See what's happening. Dang it. So excited. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Sorry. Ooh. We'll see about that. Him. Ugh. Oh, sorry, hang on. You too, your week is gonna be a little nuts. Got a major law enforcement event you're volunteering for on Sunday. Nice, that sounds fun. Well, cool. I hope it goes well. I hope yours goes well. Hope mine goes well. I hope all of our weeks go well. And yes, I hope it was not too obnoxious while you were at work. You're creeping it a little bit. That makes me happy. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how like the rest of the day sort of goes, if it like completely throws me off or not. But like the one thing is because what was it? The quality was kind of, the technical difficulties were a little bit ish. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the daytime ones still again, but I don't know. We'll see. Cause it was kind of nice to where I'm not going to be, up late. I don't know. So we'll see. A nice work lurk. I didn't finish reading that. Excellent. Good to see you as well. Dangerous giggles. Yes. Police are literally shutting down roads for you as you go. Gonna be fun. That is amazing. Very fun. I love it. Yeah, so we'll quick find. There is more available, but is it? We might have to pick something that's not low and slow, because I'm not sure. Oi, 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 oi. See, I can't tell if the quality of the one that the quality of the one that I'm watching, I don't know if it's a me issue or not. It looks interesting, so I kind of like this one. And yeah, we'll try this one. Okay. So, let me get that set up, I guess. And then we'll, yeah. Ah. All right. So yeah, so that was that. I just feel like there's still more. There's still more I could do. I could still be better before going and doing it, but we'll see. I want to trust instructor, and I want to try trusting myself, but at the same time, I don't want to bust, and I don't want to like not be ready and then start instructing, and you know what I mean? So yeah, I would like to be done with it, because then that just kind of gives me like okay, I'm not that bad. I was checked off at least, but yeah, it is. Until then, I'm gonna be a mess. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys a lot being here and putting up with me and my shenanigans, whether in my anxiety jitters and such, or my technical difficulties. But yes, I do. I appreciate you guys a lot. Hugs, thank you. Appreciate it. Don't have to read it. No. It does. It looks interesting, so you guys can check it out. And if it's yeah. Hope it's fun. It looks interesting. He's chatting, so that should be good. You have to go. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the follow. And yeah, I do. I appreciate. I guess I can go over that stuff too. Thank you, Sleazy does it again for that gifted sub. And then, yeah, thank you for the follow. Hope to see you again soon. Since you're new, I'll go over the thing. I I don't have a specific schedule. Clearly, if you've seen everybody else going, what, at this time? I'm usually a lot later than this. Like, yeah, so it's Tuesday today currently. I'd usually be like 7 hours later than this on a Tuesday. But again, because of my real world flying, as well as, yeah, real world flying and study and needing to not be so, going to bed so late, I just decided to try it now. So I try to do it every week. We missed last week because life. But yes, at some point next week, and it should be either like a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Thursday is usually what I do. So if I don't do Monday, I'll do Tuesday, and if I don't do Tuesday, I should do Thursday, and if not Thursday, it's probably gonna be not until the next whatever, but we'll see. So sorry, I do. Again, that's another thing I appreciate you guys for putting up with my schedule. I'm hoping once I get through Double I, once I get through MEI, once I get hopefully big girl pilot job, I can like be a little bit more solid on the scheduling. But until then, thank you guys for putting up with that as well. But yes, bye. Going to kill it. I hope so. I hope that in the like positive, not kill it sense. But yes, I do. I hope so. It did. My CFI went better than I expected, kind of, I think. But I also don't want to rely on that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Once I get the lesson plans down now that I know I need to do, so like the instrument cockpit check, if I need to do like an actual lesson plan for that, and or the cross-country flight planning, I do want to get through that one. And then the rest is just, practicing some of those things I haven't practiced in a while in the flight, like those time turns. And then other than that, should be, I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate the positivity and optimism. Heidi AKO Hotel 31 Delta 1 incoming with 0 instruction. Perfect. I like it. Raid message. Perfect. Yes. So whoever got lost and found their way here or found their way back, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it at this different time and through the technical difficulties and as always my shenanigans. I do. I appreciate you guys so much, and I can never say it enough. But I'll keep on saying it, and you'll keep on having to deal with me saying it. And yeah, have a great whatever it's going to be for you. Hope to see you again soon. And until next time, all the good things. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And until next time, have a great time in the raid. Yeah. You said, I sound like your cousin preparing for a big interview with a Chinese school to help teach English. Good luck to your cousin. Cousin will do just fine. See, I can believe in other people. It's just, I know too much about myself to believe in myself. No, I hope that goes well too. They literally canceled other interviews because of how massively he overprepared. Oh my god. See, I want that. That is the goal. I would rather be overprepared than underprepared, and that's the level I want. So that is so awesome. I'm glad that went well then. Yay! Congrats! Excellent. So on that positive note, and hopefully continuing positiveness, he got the job, LOL, and before kill you with suspense. I kind of figured, and as I was like saying congratulations, I was like, you didn't necessarily say explicitly, but there's an assumption. So yay, that's excellent. So hopefully that those good vibes continue, and soon-ish, I will be able to say, yes, I did in fact pass. I will take any pass. I would like an over-prepared pass. So yes, it is time to raid. I'm mentally making sure, did I do all the things I was supposed to? If I forgot anything, brain is mush. I did not mean to, apologies, but yes. Appreciate everything. So thank you. It's less than it usually is, I think. We talked earlier in the stream where when you do something slightly out of character, like the same thing, but slightly out of like time or sequence, it can throw you off. So I'm making sure. But I think we're good. So, boom, getting ready. Yeah, I think we're good. I will not forget to hydrate. I have my hydration here. I'll chug a little bit more. And you guys as well, hydrate. And I definitely will eat something. I do need to eat something. I haven't eaten yet today. So that's what it's time for me, is the food things. So you guys as well, hydrate, eat, bedtime, whatever it is. Yeah. And see you again soon, hopefully. So thank you and bye. I have to do this thing first. See, I was gonna do it. Okay, bye.